The great mystery. Where did it all begin? Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered where it all came from? How did all those stars get there? What is beyond them? These are questions that have puzzled humans for centuries. The universe is a vast and mysterious place, but thanks to science, we're starting to unravel some of its secrets. The story of the universe is a story of incredible change, from an unimaginably small point to the vast expanse we see today. It's a story of heat and light, of gravity and motion, and of the birth and death of stars. It's a story that's still being written, and we are a part of it. The universe is everything we can touch, feel, sense, measure, or detect. It includes all the stars, planets, galaxies, and everything in between. It includes all forms of matter, energy, and even time itself. And believe it or not, it all started from something incredibly small. So are you ready to take a journey back in time to the very beginning of everything? Fasten your seatbelts, because we're going on an adventure to explore the epic creation of the universe. A tiny speck, then a big bang. Imagine something smaller than the smallest thing you can think of, even smaller than an atom. That's how our universe began, as a tiny point called a singularity. It was so hot and dense that all the laws of physics as we know them didn't apply. Then, about 13.8 billion years ago, something incredible happened. The Big Bang. The singularity suddenly expanded with unimaginable force, growing faster than the speed of light. This wasn't an explosion in the traditional sense, but rather an expansion of space itself. As the universe expanded, it cooled down. The energy that was packed into that tiny point began to transform into matter, following Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared. This means that energy can be converted into matter and vice versa. The first particles to form were quarks and leptons, the building blocks of atoms. As the universe continued to cool, these particles combined to form protons and neutrons, which would eventually become the nuclei of atoms. From gas to galaxies, the building blocks of the universe. For hundreds of thousands of years after the Big Bang, the universe was a hot, dense soup of protons, neutrons, electrons, and radiation. Light couldn't travel freely. It was constantly being scattered by the dense particles. The universe was like a thick fog. As the universe continued to expand and cool, a crucial event occurred. Atoms formed. Electrons, attracted to the positively charged protons, began to orbit them, creating the first atoms of hydrogen and helium, the simplest elements in the universe. With the formation of atoms, the universe became transparent. Light could finally travel freely, and the universe was no longer a fog, but a vast, expanding space. Gravity began to play a more significant role, pulling together clumps of hydrogen and helium gas. These clumps grew larger and denser over millions of years, eventually becoming so massive that their own gravity caused them to collapse in on themselves. The pressure and temperature at the center of these collapsing clouds became so intense that nuclear fusion began, igniting the first stars. Stars are born. Cosmic furnaces light up the darkness. The first stars were massive, hot, and short-lived. They burned brightly for a few million years, fusing hydrogen into helium in their cores and releasing tremendous amounts of energy in the process. These early stars were crucial for creating the elements that would eventually make up planets and life itself. You see, stars are like giant cosmic kitchens. The intense heat and pressure in their cores act like a giant oven, cooking up heavier elements from lighter ones. Hydrogen fuses into helium, helium into carbon, and so on, creating all the elements we find on the periodic table. When massive stars reach the end of their lives, they explode in spectacular supernovae. These explosions are some of the most powerful events in the universe, scattering the elements they've created far and wide. These elements then become part of new stars, planets, and even you and me. The death of stars is just as important as their birth. They seed the universe with the ingredients for life and drive the cycle of cosmic evolution. Without stars, there would be no planets, no life, and no us.